Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome back to my channel, Leela Web Dev. In this video, we will learn about the design patterns. So we have completed our solid principles like single responsibility, open, close, list code substitution principle, interface segregation principle, and the last one is the dependency inversion principle. So these are all the five solid principles we have completed it. Before entering into the design patterns, common design patterns, so first of all, I want to tell you about the categorizations in the design patterns. So that is nothing but we call it as a gamma categorization. So let's try to understand about this gamma categorization in the design patterns. So here I have written a introduction for this one. Before diving into the individual design patterns, there is one foundational concept that will transform your understanding from a scattered collection of techniques into a structured logical framework that is called as a gamma categorization. So normally the design patterns and all those things has been categorized into a different things, different sets. So those are called as a gamma categorization. So this systematic approach named after Erich Gamma. So this one has been named after the Erich Gamma. He is one of the authors for the four book, gang of four book. Okay, we call it as a normally G of four, G-O-F. So this one provides you a truly master object oriented design patterns across any programming language. So that is the main thing. So this one we call it as an gamma categorization. So nothing but it's a categorization of the design patterns. So what is this gamma categorization? So normally, so whatever the programming language you're having, whether it is a Java, C, Python or a thing, so normally the design patterns which we are having, it has been divided into a well-defined categories. Okay, so these categories are normally known as in gamma categorization. So this one has given as a tribute to the Erich Gamma. So one of four brilliant minds behind the seminal work design patterns, elements of reusable object-oriented software. So now this book was published in 1994, affectionately called GOF. So was originally written using C++ and Smalltalk examples. However, the principles it established have proven to be timeless and language agnostic, forming the bedrock of object-oriented design in every modern programming language today. So that's the thing. So now what I was trying to tell you is this category system. So it is not an academic exercise. It is a practical framework that developers worldwide has used for nearly 3 decades to organize, understand, and apply design patterns effectively in real world software development. So here you need to understand the categorization, the three pillars of the design patterns. So we are having three pillars of the design patterns. One is creational pattern, structural pattern, and behavior pattern. So what is this creational pattern? Normally it will focus on the object creation mechanism. So that means it will handle the complexities of instantiation, the creation, the initializations and all those things in a flexible way. So whenever you are trying to create an object, how many ways, how many easy ways or the effective ways you can create an object. So that comes all in the creational pattern. Whereas structural pattern, so it deals with the object composition and relationships. So it will ensure you using interfaces, class hierarchies and all those things. Next comes the behavioral pattern. So it will address the object interaction and responsibility distribution, defining how objects communicate and collaborate. So that is the main thing. So gamma categorization divides these all the things into three fundamental groups, that is creational, structural, and behavioral pattern. Each category has a distinct aspect of object-oriented design. And understanding this system is crucial for building the solid mental model. Let's explore each category in depth to understand what problems they solve and why they matter in the real world software engineering. So first one we will try to understand about the creational design patterns. As I already told you, right, creational design pattern is all about the creation of the object. Okay. So just normally how you will create an object. So you will create an object is just a matter of calling a constructor, right? In professional software development, object creation is rarely that simple. But real world applications often require sophisticated creation logic. So let's say that you might choose between multiple implementation at runtime based on the configuration, or you must manage when you want to manage complex dependencies between objects during initialization, control how many instances of the class exists in your application, create objects with elaborate setup procedures that can't fit into a single constructor, abstract the instantiate process to make your code more flexible and maintainable. So these creational patterns provide proven solutions to these challenges, offering clean, maintainable ways to handle object creation complexity. So they help you write code that is easier to write, modify, and extend as your application. So next comes the two approaches of creation. So normally when you are trying to create an object, there are normally two approaches. One is explicit. So explicit means direct constructor. So you will call new class and you will pass all the arguments. So those arguments after receiving, it will create a fully initialized object. This is a straightforward and direct thing. So constructor calls are always visible in your code, or all initialization happens in one place, full control over the creation process. Next one is the next way of thing is the implicit creation. Objects are created behind the scenes by frameworks or containers. You don't see the constructor call, but object creation still happens through mechanisms like dependency injection, reflection, or factory methods managed by the framework. So here, dependency injection framework wires objects automatically. Reflection ATS instantiate classes dynamically. Frameworks manage entire objects lifecycle. Creation logic is abstracted away from the business code. So here, so this is how you will be having. So initialization strategies in creation pattern means so wholesale initialization. So that means object is directly created wholesale. But if you are having a something scenario in such a way that you want to create an object in a piecewise, sometimes a single construction call is insufficient to create a fully object. Okay, right? So now here you will pass it. The new point of 10, 20, new date of 10, 20. So creating a simple point with x and y coordinates for instantiating a date with year, month, and day. So this is called as a wholesale initializations. Everything happens at once in one atomic operation. Here in many real world scenarios, initialization is complex and cannot be accomplished in a single constructor call. So you need multiple steps, specific sequencing or progressive configuration. This is called as a piecewise initialization, building an object step by step. So here I am showing you building an HTTP request object that requires headers, query parameters, authentication, and body content to be set through multiple method calls. So here we are using new HTTP builder dot set URL dot add header set method dot build. So that is one thing. Let's go to another thing, that is nothing but structural design pattern. Structural design patterns focus on how classes and objects are composed and organized, while creational patterns answer how do we create objects. Structural answers how do we arrange them. So these patterns are deeply concerned with the class composition, how classes are built from other classes through inheritance and composition relationship. Interface design, how objects expose their functionality through well-designed initiative interfaces. Object relationships, how objects relate to and collaborate with each other in your architecture. How public APIs are designed to be both powerful and easy to use correctly. A common theme in structural patterns is the wrapper concept. You wrap one class inside another to modify or enhance its behavior while maintaining the original interface. This allows you to extend functionality, add new features, or control access without modifying the original class, adhering the open close principle. So normally the art of good design is structural patterns place tremendous emphasis on good API design, which is often the difference between code that is joy to use and code that is frustrating and error prone. So it should be easy to understand, it should be easy to use correctly and difficult to misuse. So that is the main thing. Let's go to another one, that is behavior design pattern. Finally, we have another pattern, another category, that is behavioral design patterns. So here it deals with the objects, how interact, communicate, and distribute responsibilities among themselves. Unlike creational structural patterns, behavioral patterns don't follow a single unifying theme. Instead, each pattern addresses a specific communication or collaborate challenge. Behavioral patterns are concerned with object communication, responsibility assignment, algorithm distribution, control flow, object collaboration, loosely coupling, and flexibility. So here object communication means how objects send messages and exchange information. Responsibility assignment means how which object should handle which task. Algorithm distribution, how to distribute behavior across multiple objects. So this is the main thing which you will be having. So some of the patterns which I can say is the strategy pattern and the template method pattern. Both allow you to vary an algorithm, but strategy uses composition while template method uses inheritance. This overlap is normal. The key is to understand the trade-offs between the right pattern for the specific context. So why gamma categorization patterns? So understanding gamma categorization transforms your approach to design patterns from memorizing a random list of building a comprehensive framework. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the dozens of patterns, now you have a logical structure that groups related patterns together. A map that helps you navigate the pattern landscape, a clear understanding of what kind of problem each pattern category solves, and a systematic approach to selecting the right pattern for your specific challenge. So throughout this course, what we'll try to do is we'll explore creational, structural, and behavioral patterns in detail with practical example, real world use cases, and also in the demonstrations. Each pattern will make sense within this category, and you will understand not just how patterns work, but why they exist and when to apply them. So that is the main thing. So that's the main thing. So which I want to tell you about the categorization of this one. Hope you understood about this categorization of the design patterns. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.